Lawrence in Greensboro, North Carolina said, do you think Bill Belichick will actually ever win at North Carolina? Okay, I avoid these kinds of questions like the plague, but that's kind of hypocritical because I'm answering this on the show. But here's what I mean. Lawrence said, do you think he's going to win? Well, Lawrence, we got to define what you mean by that. You mean, is he ever going to win a game? Well, certainly he will. Will he win a few games? Of course he will. That's not what people are asking. Lawrence, if I am to interpret what you're saying there, what I think you're saying is Bill Belichick going to win more? Like, is he going to win on the level it takes to make the playoff, compete with Clemson, compete to win the ACC championship? Well, no, I don't think he is. I don't think he is at all, and I don't think he should be expected to. Now, you could shoot back at me, and you could say, hey, Bill, you could shoot back at me, and you could say, well, he's being paid, what, $10 million a year? Yes, he should be expected to win. I don't care how much they pay him. I'm going based off what North Carolina as a program has been capable of. You know, this place last won 10 or more games in 2015, and before that, it was 1997. So you don't do this typically at North Carolina. Oh, but Josh, I'm speaking for some of you. What you don't know is they're about to run the 33rd NFL franchise there. That's what they're saying. That's kind of the messaging. That's the concept. We're going to be the 33rd NFL team. They can't say that publicly for legal reasons, but that's the messaging. That's the general concept, okay? Well, no, you're not. No, they're not. That sounds good? No, they're not. I don't think this is going to be a great big success. For all the people talking about how much Bill Belichick's about to teach college football, I'm of the opinion college football may be about to teach Bill Belichick a lot more than he's going to teach college football. Because you may think, well, dude, if you mastered the pro game for all those years, and I believe this, if you are good enough where you could be a position coach in any room in the organization, then certainly college football shouldn't be a great big challenge for you. Well, from a strict coaching the game perspective, it won't be. Guys, really good. That is not the name of the game in college football. The name of the game is getting players in college football. And I don't think they're going to do that enough to be able to compete and win. And here's the other part of that. Belichick's the oldest head coach in college football right now. He's 73 years old. Put another way, he's older than any three of his let me do the math. Yeah, he's older than any three of his players combined, unless they got some super seniors on that team. Now, that's not the end-all, be-all. Saban was in his 70s and went to the semifinals in the playoff before he retired. He was also a lifer in college football. You're jumping into college football right now for the first time as a head coach in your early 70s. You know next to nothing about the inner workings of the sport. The sport of football, you got that one pretty well figured out. But the business side, the machinations, if you will, of college football, that's like a hurricane you're jumping into. And look, if you grew up on the Gulf Coast, it doesn't matter. You know a thing or two about hurricanes. Bill Belichick's like from Juneau, Alaska, jumping into a hurricane for the first time. They don't even know how to spell hurricane where he's from. Well, likewise with college football, the way this sport works is not easy to figure out if you've never done it before, especially if you're in your 70s and you spent a lifetime in a structured world. That's what the NFL is. Hey, quick time out. Check and see if you're subscribed to the channel. If you're not, make sure you do. It's free. It doesn't obligate you or sign you up for anything. It just helps us keep the channel free. All right, back to the show. This is not the NFL, and it's one of the great lies that's being told right now about Belichick. They keep saying, oh, man, it's a perfect time for Bill Belichick to jump into college football because college football is just like the NFL now. No, it's not. No, it's not at all. And you can spot the frauds that talk about this stuff by how many people keep saying that. Oh, college football is just like the NFL now. Really? Really? Is it? You got to have players to win at any level of this sport. But in this level of football, you got to go compete for them. You don't get to wait and draft them, and then they have to come play for you for a minimum of 4 years. You got to go beat Clemson for them. You got to go beat Georgia. Because remember, we're not asking if he'll make a bowl there. We're asking if he'll compete for the playoff spot. Well, to compete for a playoff spot, you got to be better than the other teams that are competing for playoff spots, which means you got to beat them in recruiting for the same pool of players you're going after. You going to be able to do that? Other folks in North Carolina hadn't been able to do it. You're going to be able to do it. So even if the answer is yes there, All right, well, then you got to get them on campus and you got to develop them. And I've watched Bill Belichick for a long time, just like anybody else at the NFL level, enjoy the ability to be able to take already developed players from the college ranks and plug them into the NFL. That doesn't mean they don't know how to develop. Don't misunderstand me. Bill Belichick has forgotten more about developing football players than I'll ever know in 10 lifetimes. And I'd be foolish to suggest otherwise. What I'm saying is there's a big difference in the finishing touch development kind of work you have to do at the pro level versus the raw chunks of clay that you get dropped in your lap at the college level. And remember, they're free to leave every year. So not only do you have to get them, you got to maintain them. Then you got to go win with them. North Carolina historically hasn't done that to the degree that people are expecting him to do. Look, my belief is North Carolina should have pursued the face of Tar Heel football for the next 5 to 10 years. Bill Belichick is not that. So I looked at it like if I were a North Carolina fan, I wouldn't have liked how it went because I would have wanted to go all in for like John Summerall because I infinitely believe in him more and his ability to run a program than I would Bill Belichick. Belichick's one of the like Mount Rushmore faces in the history of this sport. But for the place he's at right now and the task that's at hand right now, I don't know that he and that organization are the most equipped to be able to do that.